Okay.
All right. What we got next?
The craziest not safe for work stories that happened at work.
That is pretty crazy. It's not safe for work at work.
These are silly.
Yours are silly?
No, they're not silly.
Okay.
They're terrible.
I was going to say, some of the ones that I saw earlier, they skitter between not safe for work in the traditional sense of like a little bit sexy, and then the others are actually not safe for work. I'm Corey.
I'm Nick.
And welcome to That's Debatable. We don't know who you are. Comment down below your name. And if you guys like this podcast, you want to like and subscribe and help support us, we also have this as an audio version on Apple Music, Spotify, and Audible and other places where podcasts are found. If you want to watch the full uncut and uncensored version of this podcast, early access, earlier than anybody else, you can go to our Patreon. Link down below.
Yeah, check it out there. You can see a bunch of other content and vote on what we watch on Nick and Corey, our other YouTube channel where we do show and movie commentary. You might be interested in that too. All right, let's start this off. A guy I worked with was at an old lady's house to do some electrical work, and he had to move a bookshelf. When he moved it, a bag fell and landed on his foot, breaking one of his toes.
Oh, no.
When he looked into the bag, he saw that it was full of gigantic When he reported the incident, a company wrote, "A literal bag of crushed my foot." Those incident reports go all the way to the CEO of the company, and he was visiting our office one time. He asked us where he could find the fellow with the bag.
That's a good workplace environment, though.
Dude, how many do you have to have in a bag to crush your toe?
Heavy are those that
Yeah, are those,
Granny
like,
was
stone
using? What was she? Yeah, what was she using? Prehistoric bone?
Have you seen a picture of an Egyptian?
No.
It's like a stone carved out to look like a. What I want to know is how the did someone use that? Like, how did you shove a rock
carefully
into your hole, whatever that hole may be?
I could see, like, without it being like sharp, a glazed like ceramic that was like preheated in the oven where they're smooth, like maybe. But like even then, like that's dangerous because if you do it wrong and it shatters.
Oh my God! New fear unlocked.
Maybe there's some like river stone that's been like polished by water or some. I don't know, but like
the old polishing the knob. But
if this is a recent story of some electrician, those got to be like silicone. Like they're light.
How many? Like okay, I want somebody to take this over to they did the math.
Maybe he's got sensitive glass toes.
Dude, to get your toe crushed, like okay, I probably felt like I almost broke my toe and I dropped one of these filled with water.
But that's
this
metal.
Feel it. It weighs at most like maybe 4 pounds.
It's also, depending on where it lands.
A metal edge, yeah.
Well, it's not a metal edge. It's an edge transfer the force directly on top.
Yeah, higher pressure.
It'll snap that little piggy like a wiener dog on a blanket.
Yeah, but this way, God forbid your dildo weighs this much.
Well, dildos usually are pretty round and
what does that have to do with weight?
Well, surface area to weight ratio. Like, where's the tip of that dildo?
I don't know if it was a steel-toed bag.
Steel-toed dildo?
Steel-toed bag for toe crushing capacity.
Granny's using them steel balls for pleasure.
It's like a weighted blanket, but a weighted dildo.
Weighted balls. Extra testicular cancer from this one.
Oh my God. Okay. 2 people were escorted out because they were caught having in one of the stalls. Worked at a very large factory. 15,000 to 20,000 people per shift. That's insane.
God. Where were they working? Africa?
A section
in China? 20,000 people per shift? Where was this?
Probably Tesla's gigafactory.
Like, not to be insensitive, but like that's like slave labor size factory.
That's a lot of people.
That's like pre-industrial revolution. Like, oh, we're gonna work in the boot shop kind of factory.
Yeah, this is where you have every person that does random menial shit. A section supervisor went into the bathroom to piss and heard the woman getting her cheeks clapped. I don't know why getting cheeks clapped is the best term ever. She then tried to say she was helping him tie his shoes.
Gonna learn how to tie your shoes. It's a very easy thing to do.
You see 2 people in a stall and you hear.
All right, so it's a bow and then another bow and then loop-de-loop and pull.
Pull. And your shoes are looking. They were both banned for life and not allowed to work for any other company. For any of the company's suppliers.
That's mean. They got blacklisted for that.
I like how they added a little side note after this. Then there was a guy that got decapitated, but production ran as normal. They just put caution tape around where he was killed and waited for paramedics to move him.
This tells me that it was one of those like factories, like the farm ones that just like make you look like you are a human cog.
Yeah.
Because they're more upset at somebody jerking off on their own on work time than they are someone getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
oh,
that's
decapitation? We have a budget for that. Oh, we lost a guy, whatever. But
Safety guidelines where?
You're wasting our time and we're paying you for that? Banned for life, not just from us, from every business around.
Oh, you got your head cut off? Just put a Band-Aid on it. Move on. God, you what is this?
I hope no one out there works for one of these places, but if you do, my God, like just go into like scamming elderly people if that's your other option. Like whatever you got to do, don't be in one of these factories.
Guy went into the women's toilets and tried to steal a sanitary bin.
The
bin used for period products.
Oh!
But got chased out. He then ran into the baby changing unit and stole the dirty nappy bin instead. Then
he's like, period blood is my priority, but if that don't work,
we're gonna use baby poop.
Second best is baby diarrhea.
Then he dashed
enough.
into the gents and dumped the dirty nappies on the floor, proceeding to smear them all over himself while furiously masturbating. Staff blocked off the entrance to the hallway while they waited for security to arrive, but the fella bounced out the gents and down a fire escape before he could be stopped. Disappeared down a back street like a 6-foot skid mark on legs. Never to be seen again.
Was he Bigfoot? Was he a mythological creature? What is he doing? Why?
I'm trying to envision this. Like the rest of this says, I thankfully was not on shift that day, but there was a certain 1,000-yard stare on the people that were.
Yeah, I'm trying to apply at least a little bit of logic to this, but the kind of person who would rub all over their body and dip out of a place, I assumed he worked there. If that was how he got in.
Is that how he snapped?
Maybe.
Like, it's diaper time? What is this?
The logic of this to me of, okay, you're going to steal women's period products. It's gross and doesn't make any sense.
What are you going to do with that?
At least by transitive property, a woman has touched it, which to him is as close as he will get to a woman. To then go and be like, damn, all right, the bank's closed. I guess we're going to rob a sperm factory, a sperm bank, second closest thing. He went from period blood pads to diapers.
Diapers.
They are not the
clean
same
diapers.
thing.
I mean, I guess it's bodily fluids that don't come out in a sexy way. A period is not hot.
No, but again, I'm trying to rationalize what he was thinking and be like, maybe he's just up and thinks woman touched it, therefore is attractive. A baby poopy diaper is not the same thing.
Can you imagine how that would smell?
I know one is a dirty pad and the other is a dirty pad, but they are not the same dirty pad.
I'm a clean person that really, really likes being clean.
Rubbing dirty poop on yourself and jerking off, thinking that it's period blood because at least that way it's touched a woman. The amount of mental gymnastics that you have to go through.
Dude is doing calculus. Down bad calculus. God, how desperately, disgustingly horny can you be?
And then he poofed away like a leprechaun, like a
Batmaned out.
yeah, poopercon.
Poopercon. But I wonder if he left a trail.
Yeah, trail.
Trail of tears.
No.
No, that's wrong.
No.
That's wrong. I'm sorry. The HR manager at one place I got fired after being caught masturbating in her office. That part's not that crazy. The crazy part was she had a camera installed in the men's restroom and was watching men's backs while they used the urinals. How do you get off to, oh, I like the, oh my God, I can see your lats flexing while you're pissing?
Too many things going on right here. The HR manager got fired for jerking off.
While watching men's backs while they pissed.
This is like getting high in your own supply. You don't do that.
What is the supply?
We've investigated ourselves and found us that we have nothing going on. Congratulations. We're going to drop this case. But then it's also like you're masturbating to just clothed backs of men.
Why? What could that possibly do for you?
It might as well be mannequins. Like why?
While they're pissing.
It doesn't even matter if they're pissing. It's their backs. You can't see.
Like, okay, I understand maybe, like, okay, I don't understand, but it could make slightly more sense. Say this was at a gym. Like in the locker room, where there's like muscular people, like showing off their muscles while they pee.
But then like,
this is at work, while people are dressed in like button-ups and where their backs look like a blob of cloth.
Yeah, I'm just imagining some guy like schlubbing in an oversized button-down shirt, kind of like curmudgeonly muffin topped into his pants.
And a woman's just
Yeah. Like, it's not an attractive look unless she works at a male modeling agency. And even then, it's like, okay, maybe you can like kind of just imagine the person you're attracted to peeing and that turns you on. But even then, it's like, you lady, pay for it online or something.
Would you be mad if you found out someone was masturbating to your back while you took a piss at a urinal? Because I personally wouldn't give a. I would ask them, what's wrong with you?
I think it's one of these things of like, if it's just that, I don't think I'd be like, okay, go for it. But it wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't feel like offended or perved
I wouldn't
on.
be like, how can I help you?
No, I wouldn't encourage it, but I also wouldn't be like, you've soiled me and my puritanness. Like, no, it's just like you've watched my back.
Congratulations.
Yeah, good for you.
Enjoy.
I guess. Can you pay me for this? I'll give you a little bit more if you pay. You can see my butt, I guess. Maybe next time if you pay me $5 before I go in, I'll wiggle.
I can even slip my shirt up a little bit for you.
Oh, yeah.
Give you a love handle.
What if I put my hands on my hips? A free hand.
Do you want that?
You free-handed at the urinal?
Free-handed?
Yeah, both hands on hips. Just let it go.
I usually try actually not to touch my schlong while I pee.
Well, if you touch through your pants, it doesn't count.
I don't do it through my pants. I like use my underwear as like a lifting unit.
I just imagine like a CEO. It's always got to be like a CEO. They go to the urinal and they just power pose, hands on hips, both hands on hips. They don't touch their junk.
Superman pose?
Yeah, they don't touch their junk. They just unzip and go.
Unaimed firing?
Yeah, they just do it because it's like they don't clean. They don't care.
To the people who use the bathroom, especially men, why do I so frequently see you not washing your hands? What is?
Who doesn't wash their hands after using the bathroom?
I mean, like the public bathroom, I see plenty of guys go from the urinal to the door.
Maybe this is also something that you can deal with. Maybe you should start shaming people loudly. Be like, you didn't wash your hands, sir. And just
let's get into a fight with a random crazy ass guy that has piss hands.
True. If you're gonna get into a fight,
these dot infused hands.
if you're gonna fight with someone,
poison soaked hands.
Yeah, if you're gonna fight with someone, make sure that they have clean hands first.
Yeah, can you wash your hands before I beat your face in? So in
Psychological
case you don't touch
damage.
Me? Freak. This one's just sad.
Oh no.
Supervisor at my call center killed herself at work.
Why?
Someone replied to it. Having worked in a couple call centers, I'm pretty sure that's the goal based on the environment they cultivate. I've heard call centers are the most disgustingly sad job ever.
I was reading a post today of someone who worked at a call center and they'd worked there for like 5 years. They knew everything about how to answer like all the problems. A new manager came in and said, all right, we're going to change some things around to be more efficient, you f***s. Only script. If it's not on the script, you must pass it along and give them a note saying we're escalating it. Apparently one day, like a high profile, like multi-million-dollar client called in, said, we have an issue. Our services are down. They worked at like a hospital or something. Said, if you don't get this up right now, people will die. And the guy was forced to comply, or otherwise he lost his job. So he's like, I hear what you're saying. Let me troubleshoot that for you. Oh, sorry, I can't help. Let's try. Have you tried turning it on and off again? And the CEO's getting pissed off, being like, can you help me solve this or not?
Fuck, this is so bad.
The call center guy was like, I'm sorry, I have to just say I can't do anything off script, otherwise I can escalate it. He escalates it. The CEO gets off the phone, reams out the CEO of the company saying, I will buy you and sell you if you do not fix this. And then the new manager got fired.
Good.
Yeah.
This is where malicious compliance could come in, but it can't because people need that service for a reason, especially a hospital. That's sad to see.
Yeah, call centers.
This is not the fun kind of not safe for work.
Oh yeah.
This one was really funny.
Oh boy.
I dressed up as a cardboard baling machine for Halloween and saw some. The comments that are paired with it are great.
Oh my god.
These are separate comments on the post.
Okay, so starting off.
When shrunk to, so that was the
starting off as a guy dressed up as a machine that is used in the office for Halloween.
Yeah, a cardboard baling machine.
Okay.
So it's like this is where you dispose of cardboard.
Okay.
It like shreds it basically. I caught a guy whacking off while watching two people bang behind a cardboard baling machine.
Okay. I see the picture you're painting.
I gave head to a guy behind a cardboard baling machine in the back storehouse.
What a small world we live in. All these people.
I just loved seeing those come together. I pray that this is real.
No, it's not. The fact that multiple people from a Reddit post are talking about it, nah.
But
it'd be funny.
It's like, have you seen that comment about like, I fell to my knees at Walmart?
No.
Really? You've never seen that?
Fell to your knees at Walmart.
It's like because some girl posted something. Let's get internet meme. No.
Is there more context than I fell to my knees at Walmart? Where's this going?
How does it go? Probably not worth exploring.
Okay. But I feel like there's a hole missing.
It's like a girl posts something hot,
Yeah.
and somebody like says like, "Oh my god, I fell to my knees at Walmart," and then somebody else will comment like, "I just saw a guy fall to his knees at Walmart."
Oh, I think I see what you're saying. You're saying a guy's just saying like, I'm falling to my knees, or I'm barking in a parking lot, or like I'm barking in the middle of a Lowe's.
Yeah.
Like it's just the place doesn't matter. It's a random location.
Yeah,
They're
it
just
wasn't
like,
that good.
I see what you're saying.
I failed you.
I see.
I could have been better.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, one piece at a time.
I could have been a better boy.
What else you got for me?
The guy I replaced at my heavy equipment job was fired because apparently he was jerking off in his excavator at night during the 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift. Nobody knew about it until he accidentally sent the pictures/video to our boss instead of his girlfriend.
He was jerking off and filming it?
They literally hired a company to come steam clean the cab of that Cat 390.
Ew.
I want to see what the Cat 390 looks like.
Probably not clean inside. It's got jerk off jizz everywhere. He was jerking off in the middle, like 3 a.m. That was his shift. And then filming it and then sent it to his boss by accident.
These are the people that like, you probably have some type of addiction to porn or something.
I don't want to like, again, presume. But like, ladies, you want to see a guy jerking off at work? And like, that's what you asked? Or like, did he just do that on his own?
I don't think some people care where that jerking off happens. They just
but like under the presumption that he did it because she asked to get sent.
Maybe.
Why did he take photos and videos at all?
Oh, ding, ding, ding. I have the answer for this one. Horny. Because horny, Corey. People are horny.
Does sending pics of your junk satisfy the horny? It doesn't for me. I don't like that.
I could see it satisfying the horny for someone who like lives off of that.
Unless they're just going to shower me in compliments, but you can do that without photos. Just use your imagination. Let it linger so that when you see me in person, it's even better.
Been working at a mental hospital as a cook for a few months. Recently, while I was serving lunch to all the other patients, one of them decided to crawl into the dish pit. I heard groaning near the end of my line patients.
Oh boy.
Go to the dish pit, look around the corner, and there's blood everywhere. Slit his wrists and throat. I ran for help. He grabbed a knife and was keeping us from getting it away from him. Then he gutted himself.
What the
I didn't
fuck?
see that part. Eventually, they got the knife from him and an ambulance showed up, but he died shortly after.
I can imagine. That's traumatizing.
Well, that's not safe for work at work, for work, for life, for not safe for life, not safe for...
That's therapy. That's your job better have therapy. What was his job? They were just working on something?
They were a cook at a mental hospital.
Oh, you don't get paid enough for that.
Mental hospitals are probably the worst line of work imaginable. Because you deal with people that are off the rocker, man. You can't predict what someone's going to do when their circuits aren't wired correctly.
You're just a cook. You're like, oh, I went to culinary school. I'm going to help people. I'm going to give back to my community.
No,
now you're traumatized for life.
Yikes on bikes.
Yeah. You see someone blood eagle themselves. Like, that's not what I wanted to see on a Thursday afternoon.
Unless you're into that.
No one's into that.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy's probably into that.
No, they're into doing it themselves. No one wants to watch.
Give me the knife, I'll help you.
No one's into voyeurism of murder.
Yeah, that's...
You're just a cook. You just want to give people the foodums that they want.
Foodums?
You get pleasure from seeing people eat your morsels.
Goodums in the
your
foodums.
delicious morsels you made with love, and then someone's just offing themselves 5 feet from you.
Sag.
How do you go back to work the next day?
You don't.
Be like, your boss is like, all right, that was a weird thing that happened.
See you tomorrow.
So same time tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess I'll go myself.
By the way, Johnny, one less meal tomorrow, okay?
Can I take bleach home with me so I can use it on my eyes? A. I used to do IT support for a charity that supplied housing and support for homeless people. A large portion also had mental health issues.
Wait, there's a pattern here.
So there were a fair amount of interesting events that happened. Being in IT, I avoid experiencing most of it firsthand, though I was threatened with being stabbed on about my 3rd day.
That's standard IT, though.
Yeah, you're right.
You get threatened.
No one likes IT.
You get threatened to get stabbed by someone.
You get those servers working, I'll gut you like a pig, Tom. Anyway, I come in one Monday and there's an email labeled urgent.
Oh boy.
Saying there was an incident at the stairwell of one of my properties on Sunday night, and I could pull the relevant CCTV footage and put it on a DVD. I have to do this fairly frequently. I skip through the footage, find the incident, usually a fight or blatant drug dealing, and burn it to the DVD for the police. The email never mentioned what the incident was, so I skip through the footage and watch as a clearly very agitated man ties a rope around a stair rail at the top of the stairs, then his neck, looks over the rail and just casually tips forward over it.
Oh my God.
The rope flipped him around and he dangled there twitching for far too long before he's just stopped.
Why would you keep watching this? Once you found it, be like, I can't deal with this.
This is something you can't look away from. This is not the kind of not safe for work I wanted.
I don't know, man. As soon as you see that on TV, man, rope. Wait, where's this go? Oh, pause. Pause that. turn it off, call your boss, call your mom, call your therapist.
Oh, dude, this is like, I heard one of the worst jobs that like no one can stay employed in for long because it just wears you down so much is FBI that specifically have to work on CP.
Oh, yeah.
Like it just breaks people in like a year or two. Like they can't function after that.
Well, it's especially the evidence people.
Exactly. They have to look through all of that.
Yeah.
I literally can't fathom
if you
having
have
to look through humanity's horrors.
If you have to be the person who documents the evidence just because you need to have a count of what this person did, yeah, you need to somehow be like, turn your brain off of empathy.
But it's impossible. There's see, like, I guess this happens to like ER doctors and nurses and
actually
see horrible.
This is not quite the same, but I saw a post the other day that was actually pretty powerful. It was a guy who was I believe was a divorce attorney. He was talking about like the worst case he ever had to be on was he was defending a pimp. And the case was, I think it was divorce, but also like abuse, where I think it was defendant or like the victim of this was a woman who was just completely like battered and bruised and up. And this guy was a really talented lawyer. The opposing counsel was not. And so it was a shoe-in case. All the other lawyer had to do was present the evidence of a photo of this girl after she got beat up and provide it to evidence. And the one lawyer in the video was saying it's a really, really, really easy thing to do. It's just you need to get the exact wording. He said it's something along the lines of you present the photo, you say something along the lines of I would like to...
this is to win for the defendant or for the
guy was a good lawyer. He was saying that it was a hard case for him because he was defending a pimp who beat up this woman.
Okay.
He had to defend to the best of his ability. The woman's lawyer was not great at her job.
Yeah. And
so he was saying to get the evidence into the system, you have to go to the court with the photo, say something along the lines of like, it's like a password. Be like, I would like to document this for evidence. Witness, can you identify this photo? I would like to present it to evidence like logging, blah, blah, blah. It's whatever it is. I don't know what it is. But he said you have to say the exact wording. And she didn't know what to do. So when it came up, the other lawyer said like, witness, what is in this photo? And the lawyer had to be like, I have to do my job. The guy stood up and said, objection, not evidence, because it hadn't been logged yet. And so this went like 3 or 4 times until the other lawyer just like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. And then it got turned away and the case got dropped.
Fuck.
And the one lawyer is like crying at this point, like trying to retell the story, saying like, I had to defend this guy to the best of my ability.
And he clearly did it.
And this other lawyer just couldn't do their job. And so this woman got because of it. And he said that was like a really, really, really hard thing for him to do because like if he was to not do his job,
yeah,
he would have like possibly gotten disbarred or like lost like his practice, whatever it is. Like there's things that you can't sabotage a case as a lawyer.
Yeah.
And he wanted to give the opposing counsel like a bone. And he said that also the judge is supposed to do this. Like if it's a really obvious thing, the judge should have been able to like say, oh, you do this for evidence, just move on. But apparently the judge was just in a bad mood. Maybe it was like lunchtime or whatever. Apparently judges usually don't like give a lot of leeway, and they actually do a lot more convictions around lunchtime because they have low blood sugar and they're hungry. It's really
that's
but this judge was just in no mood to do this and said, you up, you figure it out later, dismissed. And so this one lawyer is just like freaking out on the inside being like, I did my job, but at what cost?
Yeah. Well, that was depressing.
Yeah. A little tangent from what we're talking about.
Fuck.
I guess you could say it's not safe for work because it was that guy's work and it wasn't safe.
Yeah, these are... Fuck, these are heavy.
These are.
At the medical examiner, my friend was dragging a body bag down the hall, and I asked what she was doing. She said she was taking the heads out of the freezer for a particular doctor.
That's one of those like, haha, I'm taking the heads from Disney down to the freezer to get cryogenically frozen. Haha. Yeah, there's just heads in a bag. Haha. Yeah, just haha jokes. Heads in a bag. Don't look in my bag. Haha.
That's fucking awful. I asked,
what's in the bag?
That's a bag of heads? She said, yeah. So I asked if I can open the bag, thinking surely this would be pig heads.
Surely it would be pig heads.
I opened the bag and there's a bunch of humans' heads. For the same experiment, they shot the heads with some weapons in a lab upstairs.
What?
But it's not like a weapons lab. It's just an old lab, so now there's holes in the walls. Turns out heads only cost $600 for science projects. Wait, they got real human heads to shoot with guns in a random room?
It wasn't even like a shooting range, just like a random room. Yeah, a lab.
What the
I'm hoping that this interaction went, the one person who was carrying the bags, been like, yeah, it's a bag of heads. The other person says, can I see? The person with the bag of heads just like,
Are you sure?
all right. And then as soon as they open it up, be like, what did you expect?
I don't trust you. Is that really a bag of heads? Yeah, it's a bag of heads. Are you sure they're not squirrel heads? Or
surely
frog heads?
Surely you meant pig heads. Some boar's head ham.
My name isn't Shirley.
And then
Feast your eyes.
His worker's just like,
I don't know what the I'd do if I saw a bag of human heads, dude. I'd probably lose my
well, the fact that you asked to see them.
You think that I put myself in that
A little
coffin?
bit. A little bit.
Fuck
Like, if you didn't
me,
want to
dude.
see it, don't ask. This one worker's just like, oh my God. Like, I have to explain this to them. I have to calm them down. I'm doing my job. I have to carry bags of heads to my creepy rich overlords to have fun shooting. Why? In what science project do you need to shoot heads?
Yeah, what kind of a science project is shooting heads?
Does she work for the
Don't
police
they have ballistic
department?
gel for that?
Yeah,
I guess that's more expensive to make than a old head.
$600? I don't know how much a ballistics gel head.
Probably pretty expensive.
Probably not, because they get up. You know, they're like one-time
Yeah.
use.
Hence why they're probably pretty expensive.
I would think that they're
But
easily
they need
made.
to simulate an actual
I guess.
head.
I don't know. Who is sponsoring this? Is it
Why
the police
simulate
department
head when used
trying
real
to be
head?
like, all right, guys, you aim for the head, not center mass. You don't want to put him down. You want to cause damage.
Damage. Our CFO asked me to hack into the website of a photographer who had taken erotic pregnancy photos of him and his wife. Apparently, the photographer was pulling a bait and switch and jacked up the price.
That guy.
And the CFO felt entitled to steal them for free.
I agree with the CFO. You don't take a picture of my pregnant wife's nunnies and then raise the price on me after. That's some.
I was going to tell him that it was unlikely I could just hack the site because it's not like in the movies, but he showed me a sample image, and goddammit, the image source was literally gallery.cgi.
It was essentially like if you've ever used Google Chrome, it's one of these things where you can hit inspect element and then be like, oh, it's behind a wall?
Download?
Download. Yeah.
I told him I could do it, but he said that due to the sensitive nature of the content, I couldn't work on my own computer or leave his office until it was done, and I had to swear it to secrecy. Also, he never got up from the only chair, so I had to kneel at his computer, installing Perl and WJet, and teasing out the numbering system for the pictures.
That's so up. He had to kneel at the CFO's desk because he's doing a favor for the CFO.
That is.
And the CFO is just sitting in his chair, not even letting this dude sit.
30 minutes later, I staggered back into the cubicle farm, and my fellow programmers were like, what was that secret thing he wanted your help with? And I said, I'm not allowed to talk about it, but my knees are really sore, and I'm going to go home early today? Come on, man. Wording. Phrasing. Jesus Christ.
He had to know what he was doing.
One of the guys literally did a spit take before I realized how that sounded. I never did live that down, although I did memorize the URL for the photos in case I ever needed those pics in an emergency.
Wait, why? Blackmail? Why?
Memorize the URL? Dude, these URLs are not like...
Maybe it was like photo of like the business /123.
Pregnant the _1.
My God. Maybe honestly the way the CFO acted of being like big in his work chair while this other dude is just in front of him kneeling at his desk because he won't give him the only chair in the room.
Yeah, you want some leverage on that.
Maybe
Fuck
leverage
that
isn't
guy.
the worst thing in the world.
Leverage is always good.
I think blackmail is one of these things that you want to have just in case, but you don't want to have to use it.
Especially with someone. I agree.
Yeah.
Blackmail is good to have, better to not use.
I wonder, any lawyers out there, what's the legal ramifications of threatening blackmail but not actually blackmailing yet?
Bad.
Probably bad.
Blackmail is probably a very dangerous charge, especially if it's like with private nudes and actually any form of blackmail is probably pretty bad.
Can you blackmail to blackmail?
But is there proof that you have blackmail?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Can you blackmail being like, I don't have the blackmail, so I'm not blackmailing you, but I threaten that I will blackmail with this blackmail. So it's like a inception of blackmail.
Huh?
Yeah. That's what I expect the lawyer to do when I'm in the courtroom. They just dismiss all charges. I want to hear a big ol' huh from the judge. You're free to go, sir. Too smart for me.
I rest my case.
The lawyer stands up. Huh? I rest my case.
We've got this one in the bag, boys.
Well,
Just another head in the bag.
oh God. These were not safe for work.
These were horrible.
These were...
This was a questionable bit.
This was questionable.
This was a try for us. Do you guys like this? Do you guys want more of similar stuff?
We need you guys to tell us what you want us to see, because otherwise this is what happens when we go off on our own.
Yeah, we find some stuff in the woods, and sometimes that's not good stuff.
Sometimes we want some slapstick humor, some relationship shittiness.
Tell us some funny Reddits or different places on the internet we can scour.
Yeah.
Like your own personal stories, perhaps.
Yeah.
And we can explore those. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to see the full uncut, uncensored version of these fucking horrible stories, please check it out on our Patreon. We can watch it in advance.
The uncensored version. And if you guys want to listen to this podcast without our beautiful faces, which why the would you? But if you do, go in and head over to our links down below, Spotify, Apple Music, and Audible.
Yeah.
That's where they're at. Also, like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching, guys.
That's a really important thing.
See you in the next
helps.
one.
Thanks. No, not
No kiss?
no,
No kiss?
no. Take it back.
Unsuck!